an opportunity that we can't pass on.
Ka tangi te kawe a wai hoki a tangi ana. Ka tangi te kawe a wai hoki a tangi ana. E tatari atu ana ki a roaro mahana ka taka mai te ahuru. Ko ia. E te rahi e te nui nā taringa o te motu. Nau mahara mai ki tēnei pāpua hōtanga e whakaatu nei ki a koutou katoa. Tuatahi rā e mihi ana ki te mana whenua tēnei takiwā te Atiawa. Taino ki nā mauna whakahi ko Raumanuka tērā, te awa kairangi e rere ana. Me ki te moana o te whanganui a taratai atu ki te raukawa, te moana o raukawakawa. Nei rā te mihi ki a koutou katoa, mauri tū, mauri tānata, mauri ora ki a tātou. E hoa bā, e nā taringa, nau mai, hara mai ki tēnei whakataetai pakana e tu iho nei, nō reira. Whakarongo mai, tātari mai, mautātua he pakana kei te haere.
Well, no mai, haere mai, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Fraser Ballpark here in Hutt Valley, where you're watching the 2025 Softball New Zealand presentation of the New Zealand Secondary School Championships. I'm Gary Rohihi for Beyond the Dugout Broadcasting here on day 4 of the grand final hosted by the Hutt Valley Softball Association, where we have Whitby in the first base dugout in their blue colours taking on Rosehill, the other contenders here in the third base dugout in their red and black uniforms. The umpires here for today, as you see them on screen, will be, I'm Gary Rohihi, joining me will be Scott Easthope, and who you've already heard for our opening te reo remarks was Wiramu Tamaki. Plate umpire today is Brodie Donald, first base Bridget Parker, third base Lucy Pearce, and the Softball New Zealand scorer for this one is Donna Gillard. Well, it is a beautiful day for softball. A little bit overcast, but it's still very warm out there, and balmy 19 degrees, partly cloudy, and but no breeze at all. So just a perfect start for this game, as we see the girls are eager and are ready to go. Scotty, it's so good to have you joining me here today, and we'll get you to give us your comments on how you think this grand final is going to go.
Tamari e hoa, it's a pleasure as always to be here at the home of Hutt Valley Softball at Fraser Ballpark. Yeah, look, it's going to be a tightly contested game for sure, Gary, and I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the players, some of the stars of this tournament already out here on Diamond 1, battling it out for that title.
There we go, Rosehill College. We'll quickly give you their lineups at catcher. And leading off their hitting, Trinity Waiwiri Toka, Sienna Dufty, followed by Janaya Nathan Kaiho, and then Acadia Nathan Kaiho, the sisters. Skylar Breeze Joyce, followed by Ainsley Kairua. Maya Lemon, Chelsea Tapuni, Azalea Pahudi rounds out their batting order, Scotty. Who sticks out for you there in that lineup?
Yeah, look, Gary, I don't think you can go past Trinity Waiwiri Toka here for Rosehill College. She comes into the game with 13 hits in the tournament.
Sensational.
And OBP, she's got an on-base percentage of 800. That is staggering.
absolutely staggering. And of course, their challengers will be Whitby Collegiate, who came straight into the grand final, what you might call the easy way, by winning the major semi-final. Kim Marie Orupa will be leading off for them, followed by their pitcher Bella Coxon, Saphira Schultz, followed by Georgia Keel, Alice Smiths, Adia Tazi, Dakota Simons, Ali Kay and Scarlett Morrison. Scotty, who always stands out for you in this lineup, very strong.
Well, it's hard to go past the pitching, Gary, but in this case I will. Alice Smith's hitting in the 5-hole there for Whitby College Collegiate. She has 12 RBIs coming into the final. Now that is a big number, and I'm looking forward to seeing her at the plate and whether she gets into opportunities to score some runs and change this game.
Well, of course, I saw Ella hit a triple in that semi-final, so she's fully capable of doing it. And also joining me, Te Reo specialist today, Wiramu Tamaki. Wiramu, if you guys don't know, also one of the world's top umpires, so he brings a lot of knowledge to our ball game. Wiramu, welcome along.
Tēnā koe, Gary, and tēnā koutou e nā taringa e whakarongo mai nei. Hei, tēnā koutou mo te mihi, me nā āhuatana e pāna ki nā kaitakaro, ki tō tātanei kemu, ki enei tīma, a konei e pakana ana. E hoa, me ki kāti, he tangata noiho au, ki roto i te kemu o Poenāwari, aha ko taki tau o tūranga, he kaiwhakawa, o te ao, he kai whakawā noiho I konei. Nā reira, thank you very much.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the players are just being introduced out there on the field, so we will join our ground commentator and we'll just let him take you through the lineups.
Scarlett Morrison, Montana Cavill Fowler, Aria Moore, Sienna Schultz, head coach Kitty Shaw. For Rosehill, Trinity Wairiri Toka, Sienna Dufty, Janaya Nathan Kaihau, Acadia Nathan Kaihau, Skylar Breeze Joyce, Aisley Kairua, Maya Lemon, Chelsea Tipuni, Azalea Pahiri, Elena Paikia, Emery Mayo, Tania Anderson, Jasmine Saar, and the head coach, Delisa Anderson. The flag bearer today is a young umpire from Hutt Valley, Joe Zhang. Please be upstanding for the national anthem.
Well, there we go. The national anthems have been sung. Rosehill are going to issue a challenge here where they'll be doing the haka. The girls will come together first and will shake hands and show a respect before they head to their dugouts. And after that, formalities are finished. We'll be into the ball game, ladies and gentlemen, the grand final here. As we see Rosehill just about ready to go. We'll just pause a moment and listen to them.
Eke tangaroa. Manini tua, manini raro, tangi te kura, tangi wiwini, tangi te kura, tangi wawana. Koia nei te haka whakaturia i te timoa. No te nota i whakaturia ki runga i te papa nei. E kia nei ki a rātou. Nā hoariri, hoi anō. Pērā te haka kia te aroha. Rātou i hakaina ki te whakataita ki akarana ki Tāmaki Makaurau i te rāwiki. Ka whakaraura e rātou te haka ki roto i te kēmu nei o Poenāwari nō reira. Rātou e whakatakoto hia te haka he mea ake tēnā ki te wero. Nō reira, kia matara.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're just about ready to go, Scotty. We didn't talk about the pitches before the game started, but maybe you just want to mention the strength in both teams at the moment.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Gary. Skylar Breeze-Joyce on the hill for Rosehill is an imposing figure, and she throws the ball hard, and she comes in with a 1.47 ERA and has been dominating. And on the hill for Whitby Collegiate, Bella Coxon, she won't be flying under the radar either, Gary. She's been throwing really, really well. She's coming up through the ranks. She seems to have added a couple of clicks to the ball as well, in my opinion. A bit more of a workload for her. She's got a 2.49 ERA, but has been throwing the ball really, really well as well. So I'm looking forward to that battle out in the middle there, mate.
Absolutely should be sensational. We'll just quickly run you through the Whitby Collegiate batting lineup. Leading off for them will be Kim Marie Orupa, followed by Bella Coxon, then Safira Schultz, Georgia Keel, followed by Alice Smits, then Aria Tarsi, Dakota Simons, Ali Kay, and rounding out their order will be Scarlett Morrison. We will quickly go defensively out there. Alana Paikea in the right field for Rosehill College Acadia. Nathan Kaihu centre. Ainsley Kairua completes the outfield. Janaya Nathan Kaihu at shortstop. In the hot corner at third base, Chelsea Tapuni. Maya Lemon at second base. First base, Sienna Dufty. Skylar Breeze-Joyce, as we've just mentioned, doing the pitching into the catching of Trinity Waiwiri Toka. They're just going through their pre-game warm-up now, where they'll get several pitches. Wiramu, give us your rundown on this grand final. Should be a real tight one.
Tino pakana tēnei, ko eke mai nā tima e rua ki tēnei whakataitai, ko rātou nā tua o te round robin, nō reira aku nei whakaro ki tēnei. I kite o te mahanatanga o nā wahine nei, i te Women's Open, nō reira I kite au i a Skylar, ia ropu ia wā, nō reira ko tāku nei nod, kia rātou.
Underway, ladies and gentlemen. First pitch is hit down to third base. She's very quick. And straight away, action in the ball game, and it's Alice Smith who gets things going. That is a fast start to this game, Scott.
What about that for a grand final, Gary? Opener. We get a first pitch ground ball, tight play at one, big call. Lovely fast pitch to open this one, bud.
Oi, ko tahi te epa, ko tahi te patu, ko tahi te takaro. Oh, kei te haumaru ia.
One pitch, and that was a great advertis for our game. Straight away, they drop the bunt, and they move the runner. And that is textbook from Whitby. The first out of the ball game, but she has moved that runner over to second. We will call that a scoring position, ready to go.
Yeah, and on the replay there, great shot of the first baseman for Rosehill with a good pick early, because that one got down on her nice and low, but she did a great job to pick that at first base and take the out.
E rua nā epa.
Right.
Well, here we go. It is Skylar Breeze Joyce, and the first pitch to make it through to the catcher
Yeah.
in 3 batters. So that's pretty good going, and it's called a strike.
Hau kaitahi e hoa mā. Hau kaitahi.
Wadamu, we'll try and stay off the getting you involved in the umpiring decisions, but I'm assuming that's the top of the zone early.
Yeah.
Koina.
Our umpire Brody Donald out there showing us exactly where the top of the zone is. That one's a little bit higher. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner at 2. There we go. Everything's happened, and we're only about 3 minutes into it. So welcome to Grand Final Softball, ladies and gentlemen, here at Fraser Park. We're on Sorensen Field, and this should be an absolute beauty.
Skylar Breeze definitely peppered the zone in those first couple of hitters, hence the ball in play quite a lot. But
Yeah.
change-up came out too high. Good to see her thinking about using the change of pace early and trying to keep this Whitby Collegiate hitting lineup off balance.
Well, as you say, straight away, she was through the middle of the zone, and on both occasions early on, of course, it met the bat and has resulted in that runner out there at 2. Absolutely sensational. We can catch up with actually exactly who is batting out there. It is Safira Schultz, number 2 for Whitby College.
E ko te kaite nei, poro tori nā poro, tahi nā haukai.
This one's hit hard out to right field. The right fielder has just hesitated and leaving it to the centre fielder. That's going to score the first run in the grand final. And the hitter has rounded too and gone all the way to third base. And Whitby Collegiate have hit the ground running in this grand final. And they've already scored 1 run to 0.
What a great little look at the replay there as we see her scampering around the bases quickly, head first dive into third, and a triple underway with the scoring.
Well, Wiramu, we've had a bunt, we've had a hit to third base, and now we've had a hit to the outfield. It's brought us a lot of action already.
Oh,
This time, sorry, Wiramu, another runner has just scored 2 runs. Sorry about that, Wiramu.
He kemu nā wari tēnei, ei. Kia kite te poro, kia pati te poro, ki roto I te tākaro, ka tākaro. Nō reira, me kira e tuku nei te timo Whitby, te masterclass, e pāna ki te patu.
Yeah, Tuki Ahoa, it's an easy game when done properly. Ball in play.
All right, take that. You got a runner at 1 for Whitby, and just the execution of what I'm sure will be Coach Kitty Shaw's master plan.
Yeah, you did right, Gary. She loves to play the game this way. She loves runners in motion. She loves hard and fast softball. Definitely something pretty consistent from Kitty.
There, we just had a moment to pause, and the steal is on, and a bit of confusion out there as she took the tag.
Tērā pēhe lead off. Mai te kaiwawa tuatahi. He karanga atu he lead off, ne? Tino tere tō haere ki te papa tuarua hoi anō ka hupu kia. Me kira, you got caught.
Long way back, she looked like she wasn't sort of running as aggressive as she needed to. We will have number 19, The lady that you mentioned, Scott, Adiatasi.
Yeah, look, to be honest, it looked like she was given out.
Sorry,
dead ball
number 8
leaving
it
early
is.
on the base pass there, hence the lack of running, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Aye.
it looks to me like she was given out for leaving the base early.
Well, there we go. It is number 8, Kim Warupa, who's in there at the moment. Second out being Georgia Keel, given out for leaving early.
And this must be one of the few times that Kim's come to the plate without somebody on base to drive in, because as I said sort of before the game, with 12 RBIs coming in, I mean, that's plenty for one tournament right there.
He tangata mo te mekira te top bera, ne?
That's going to be a decent percentage of their total runs in the tournament, would probably think. But anyway, it's a fine job done by Skylar Breeze-Joyce as she strikes out Kim Warupa for the third out here in the top of the first innings, which has given us action aplenty. But what it means is that Whitby go into the bottom of the first innings, leading the ball game by 2-0. We'll find out what happens when we come back in just a minute. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a beautiful shot of the Pūtakau as it's around this lovely ground here at Fraser Park, and it's grand final day. We're on Diamond 1 Sorensen Field, Whitby Collegiate taking on Rosehill College, and we'll just quickly give you the batting lineups in reverse. This time it's Rosehill coming out to bat. Leading off for them will be Trinity Waiwiri Toka, followed by Sienna Dufty, then Janaya Nathan Kaihu, followed by Sister Acadia Nathan Kaihu, Skylar Breeze-Joyce, followed by Ainsley Kairua, Maya Lemon, Chelsea Tapuni, and Azalea Pahiri was the DP in their lineup. Defensively for Whitby Collegiate, Dakota Simons out at right, Alice Smits and Ali Kay compete the outfield. Infield, Kim Maria Rupa at short, Scarlett Morrison at third, second is Georgia Keel. First base, Aria Tasi. Bella Coxon doing the pitching into catcher, Safira Schultz. Defensively for Whitby Collegiate, the girls getting ready to go. 2-0 to Whitby at the moment, up to Rosehill to find out what they're going to do.
O tēnā koe, Gary, e kua ki te tātou he innings tuatahi and katai rātou ki nā piro e rua. Koe nei te wahana ma te tima nei o Rosehill, e whakautu. No reira, tātari mai mo te whakautu.
Yep, here comes the response.
First pitch, Bella Coxon brings it in just off the plate. Call to strike. Nice way to start.
Tata.
Yeah. I don't know if we should show that replay. Nice, generous outside corner. That's the one, Blue.
Umpire Brody Donald.
Hey,
He's the man in the hot seat out there, so we're not going to question him. He's doing the job.
Oh, ko tēnei tangata ko Brody Donald, North Harbour.
Yep.
Te kaumau ono tōna pakeke. Hey, he tangata tino kahana ki ona mahi.
Oh, there's a fine catch, full stretch out there. Nice job by Georgia Keel at second base to have the first out, which is Trinity Waiwiri Toka.
O ka kitea tata ki tērā patu ai mai tērā tangata, kua mōhio ia e karanga nei te kaiwawao me kira te piriti kei te taha ki waho nei. Ne? Nō reira, ka e patu ia tēnā poro, ka hoi anō e mōhio ana te zone o te kaiwawao.
Number 1, Sienna Dufty comes in to bat now for Rosehill. Nice pitch this time from Bella Coxon.
Yeah, I don't mind that zone at all, actually. That pitch there's a lovely little line coming down that little tram line there. Don't mind that. If that's the widest, that's going to make for a great game.
High and inside for a ball.
But it is lovely to see a young fella back there. Wiramu, as you were saying, obviously a college final, but just to see our umpiring, the next generation of our umpires coming through as well.
Tino wai maari e mātou kia kimi nā pui nei e whakakahana te mahi o te kaiwa wau. Kua kōrero au te kaumā tana paka ki hei. Te kaumā kei te kura tonu ia.
He's at school as well. Oh, that's impressive. He certainly looks the part. He certainly looks like he's had some training. He's been doing it a while, and
Yep.
it's awesome to see.
Tino maro.
He'll be well looked out after out there by Bridget and Lucy.
O
the two
no
Blues.
North Harbour ia no reira nā Mark Portis Andy McManus rātou e manaaki nei I ai.
Well, plenty of experience there to show the young man what to do. And there's a fine hit out to right field. It's gone under the glove of the right fielder. It's making its way all the way to the fence. She's rounded 2. She's heading towards 3. The coach has given her the go-ahead. And there we go. Rosehill, with an in-the-diamond home run, have replied immediately to Whitby's 2 runs. 2-1 to Whitby now.
Au e taukuri e hoa mā. Ko tai te patu, ka taia te poro ki te taha matau. Me kira e haere ana ki runga I tōna hoiho. Haere ake nei ki waina nui e te whira. Ka taia ki te pureti mo te piro. Tai.
Yeah, as we see this replay here and a head first slide in at home just to make sure of the safe call. But a nice high pitch on the outside, Gary,
Yeah.
and she took it that way and got it out the middle. And if it goes under the glove there, it's a tough play to grab and get all the way home.
Takes it a lot of skill to take it to right field like that. Usually your natural instinct is to pull the ball to left field. So yeah, she's waited on that perfectly. Should also mention, though, that we've got the temporary fence out there. You may be able to make it out in our shots. It's at the ladies' distance, which I'm sure Scotty and Wiramu will both know what that is.
O I roto I te reo Māori, rua te kau whiti. Hoi anō 67 metres.
Is that
Or
220 feet? Yeah, boy.
There we go.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you answered that.
Scotty might be too young to remember feet and
I'll be
inches.
honest, Gary just put me on the spot. I was like, yeah, he definitely knows. I had no idea.
Well, you were conspicuous by your silence there, Scott. 1 ball, 2 strikes we have on the batter. It's Janaya, Nathan Kaiho, Rosehill underway in this one with a run of their own. And extra pressure on these girls being a grand final. A little bit more so, obviously, than you'll see throughout the pool play in that, where collegiate, both of these colleges were exceptional. But, of course, a lot of these girls may even be playing their first national tournament grand final. So, bit of nerves out there maybe, but neither team has shown it.
E kua hapa tēnei poro ki te taipa, and ko te kaitea I nei, poirua, haukai rua.
It's a good point you make there, Gary. Like, there could be some first-time stuff happening out there for some of these young players. And be interesting to see how some of them deal with some of the adversity at times.
Yep. There we see. This one's been hit hard into the turf. Coxon fields it herself. Does a nice job in taking the out. 2 down.
Awa tino mea ki tēnā ka mai te kai epa kia whiua te poro ki te paitahi mo te waho. Tino tata te kai oma, e oma ana ki te paitahi, hoi anō ka taia te waho.
Yeah, lovely replay again as we see her busting out of the box. And a beautiful play by the pitcher to come, spin on that and make a great throw over to first base. Just so close to the runner, as you were saying, Wiramu.
Tino tata tērā.
Well, there we go. We have Katie and Nathan Kaiho in the batter's box right now, going to work. Bella Coxon now be looking to get her to the dugout without impacting the scoreboard. High and inside.
It'll be difficult as well, Gary. Acadia's got a 625 on base percentage coming into this one. That's a lot of time on base, and I'm looking through this whole lineup, and there's a lot of big numbers on the board here, but that's up there.
There's a nice strike through the zone. Couldn't catch up with it this time. Well, you're right in what you say. Both teams obviously being in the grand final, their stats will be impressive. Of course, you've got to beat the rest of the tournament to get here. So the cream does rise to the top. There's a nice job by Bella Coxon. 1 innings complete now. She strikes out Acadia Nathan Kaiho. And there we go. They head back to the dugouts for first innings complete. It's Whitby that lead the ball game very narrowly over Rosehill by 2-1. We'll be back with more action in just a minute.
E ho mā ka hoki mai ki tēnei kēmu nei, no reira nau mahara mai ki te whakaata Māori e whakapāho atu nei ki a koutou katoa.
Absolutely magnificent to be going live out onto Whakaata Māori as we get into the top of the second innings now. Rosehill College out there defending. It is Whitby going to work with the bat. Whitby College Collegiate. Ariatasi, number 19, will be looking to get them going and be the lead-off for Whitby, who lead the ball game 2-1 over Rosehill.
Hau kai rua, ka tae a skaya tērā epa ki te papa, and ka karawhiu e te kōtiro nei, tana patu ki tērā, ko te kaite hau kai rua.
Yeah, not what we want to see from the Whitby Collegiate hitters if you're part of the coaching staff and chasing balls.
There we go. She's hit a line drive out to left field. It's going to be a nice, comfortable stand-up single. Ariatasi gets us going, gets Whitby going in this second innings.
Aha, ko te hau kai rua, ka tae e te patu ki tērā poro, nā wari noi ho tēnā, ka karawhiu i tērā wāhina, ka tae e ki te paitahi.
Yeah, lovely easy swing to stroke that ball out to left field and made a great adjustment.
That brings into the batter's box under the neon pink helmet, Dakota Simons.
What an awesome looking play there as well. Like come around showing bunt early and putting it out there, but a little back pick to first base. But a nice slide in there to beat the tag.
Just goes to show you the amount of coaching and training that's gone on to bringing these two teams into the level where they're showing right now.
Koenei te mata ura, te mātauranga kiri sure, ne, ki tōna tīma. O ko mātai te tīma tuatahi e patu, ka wero e tātou, ka mahia.
This time as Simons, it drops the bunt. It's a beautiful looking bunt. The ball's unable to be fielded out there. It's gone loose in the outfield. Tassie rounds 3. She's coming all the way home. And Simons earns herself a triple. After that error by Rosehill at first base,
Tātari mō tēnei, nā reira, kei te whakaaro rātou te tima nei, ka patu te poro ki te kaipatu.
Yeah, that looks as if it's hit the batter after she's bunted the ball into the ground. It's come up and they're checking to see whether that's hit the batter after she's bunted it, and therefore a reset if they're in the box.
Oh, well.
And the batter out if she's outside of the box.
Replay coming here. Yeah, there as you see, Gary, she just goes to take off and bust out of the box, and it comes up and just slightly touches the helmet there, potentially. Ooh. It's a close one.
Might have been a bit of daylight there.
Mena ka whawha, ka karanga hia te kaiwa wau, te pō, ne?
Yeah,
ka
true.
whakaaro, awo, kei waho i te pauaka, o kei waho te kaipatu.
Yep.
Koe no, ka whawha ki roto i te wahi mo te kaipatu, awo, te pō, strike, or power, and then kātahi ka patu anō.
The upside of the discussions there is she's been deemed to have not touched the ball. She is safe at third base. The run has scored. 3-1, Whitby Collegiate now lead over Rosehill College. Straight to second base. The out is made, but the run also scores. And it is Whitby Collegiate who are making every post a winner at the moment with 1 down.
Ai, e kahana te tima nei, e patungia te poro, e ka piro nā piro. No reira, te tai ina nei, whā ki te tahi, kia Whitby.
Again, just great softball, Gary Whittamu, where just hit the ball to the right side with a runner on 3, and it'll score the runner. Just exactly what Kitty would have wanted there.
Kerry Shaw, ladies and gentlemen, the coach of the Whitby Collegiate, obviously many, many years as a White Sox player, but also now many years coaching at various levels, but vastly experienced as an international coach now as well. So bringing all of that to bear on her young chargers who are executing the plan with precision at the moment.
And they're lucky, Gary, because looking over at the other baseline there, that's Raniera Morrison as the assistant for Whitby Collegiate. He's a very experienced coach in his own right as well, and I'm sure he's loving the opportunity to work with Kitty and pick up what he can out of her. But yeah, he's been around and coached some teams to some titles. He's got some titles under his belt at the rep level. So yeah, they got a pretty accomplished staff over there at Whitby Collegiate.
Me kira ko te brains trust ni.
Yeah.
Yeah, te mata uruara, te mātaranga rāua.
No surprises there, guys. Porirua College, so.
No reira, i noa nei hoa mā, ko te kaute, poi tori, hau kai tahi.
So 4 runs to 1 to Whitby Collegiate, by no means out of reach of Rosehill, who have shown in this tournament their own qualities and have already scored a run of their own. We see the shortstop pick that one up, and the second out, which was Scarlett Morrison, has been taken. They go back to the top of the order. Number 5, Alice Smits, who got us going in the first innings.
Ne ki te tata ki te rā takoro, me ki ruto i te scorebook ne, ko te 6-3, kai tū tata ki te pai tahi mo te waho.
That pick up pace, that one off the bat there.
I sure did.
I don't know why, but every time that happens, Gary, and I'm sitting next to you, I still duck. as if there's any chance that could happen.
Yeah, you do find yourself doing it occasionally. Doesn't matter how many years you've been in the game, you know the fences between you and the ball, you still flinch. There we go, Alice Smits, the lead-off hitter, centre fielder for Whitby Collegiate. Of course, we're very early in the ball game, which means that Rosehill are by no means out of it. They are under pressure and need to get out of this innings with no further impact on the scoreboard, but definitely capable of picking this back over the next few innings.
Ai, tikana koe ki te Gary, he mahana kemu kei te haere. Me kira kei te tupi o te
Order.
tuarua ne? E, kei te tupi o te tuarua.
Yeah,
Hoi
certainly.
anō, he mahana kemu e haere ake nei.
And you're right. There's been these two teams have both had plenty of runs in them throughout the tournament. So you get the feeling that Yeah, there's a 3-run lead here, but there's probably more runs in this one.
Yeah. We've said it when we've done games together plenty of times, Scotty, that what we're looking at early in the ball game is definitely not going to be the final score.
Yeah, and I'd like to see both pitchers, they've had some success with that change of pace. I'd like to see that come in even a little more as these hitters are clearly coming to grips with the firm stuff.
Oh, there we go. The strikeout is affected for the third out here in the top of the second innings, and it is 4 runs to 1 as they head back to the dugout. Whitby Collegiate leading. We'll find out what happens when we come back in just a minute. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're now into the bottom of the second innings here in the grand final between Whitby Collegiate and Rosehill College. Rosehill, it is now, who are going to bat with Skylar Breeze Joyce, the pitcher up to bat for Rosehill. And they trail in the ball game by 4 runs to 1. And we're just mentioning off air that just before the innings finished, that by no means out of reach of a team of this calibre.
Ai, Gary, nei ki te au tēnei tanata, tēnei wahine with Skylar. I roto I te Heartland, I roto I te Women's Open, and kei konei, he maha nā softball tāna, eh?
Yeah, she's got some serious innings and under her belt, hasn't she? She's been at a lot of tournaments. And I'm just looking down the list here, and there she is on the batting stats as well, Gary. 706 OBP, on-base percentage, 462 batting average. She's got 7 RBIs. She's doing a bit of everything at the minute.
Definitely pushing her name to the forefront of MVP consideration. Absolutely.
See a little timeout here. We get a nice little picture into the Rosehill dugout and check out what they're up to as the pitcher and the catcher come together and rediscuss the plan, or maybe the signals, or maybe both.
Rosehill, of course, out of Papakura, just a little south of Auckland there. And, of course, Whitby Collegiate based out at Porirua here in Wellington.
There it is, Gary, like that change of pace there you see, just sliding back to the outside corner. I think front foot was well down really early from Skylar Breeze.
And he koe tēnā mō Skylar.
Skylar earns the walk, heads down to first base to get her team going in this one. Straight away, as we see Tanissia Anderson coming in, the coach for Rosehill. Looks like she's going to make a change, probably a runner for Skylar, I would think.
Yeah, pinch run coming out because there's no DR listed as, look, guys, I'll be honest, I don't know the answer to this question. So is it because we don't have DRs at the college tournament, or they just haven't listed one?
They haven't listed one because we do have... No, we have DPs listed. We haven't seen a DR listed.
Taka nei mōhi o kare he umarapati, eh? Tia?
Umarapati there. Tika, I love that one.
Run, rabbit.
Kare umarapati ki tēnei, ki tēnei whakataitai ki nā tāne me nā wahine me te NFC, he umarapati. Hoi anō, kei te tino fit, rātai.
Pai tērā, there's an expectation that the college kids can run.
They should be able
Tino
to.
rangatahi koe, tino tere koe āwao.
Well, they have brought out number 4, Emery Mayal, to do the running for Rosehill.
And he tino me ake tēnā kia...
Is the attempted bunt, and it is number 9, Ainsley Kairua, out there to bat for Rosehill. Coach's hat on there, Wiramu, there'll be a steal coming at some stage soon, I would think.
Koe nei. Tērā pē me nainei.
Not needed, she's dropped the bunt, it has gone foul. But you talk about Omarapati, she was there second base extremely quick.
He tino koe tēnā mai te coach o te Timo Rosedale, kia neke atu i a Skylar. Koe nā te kai epa, ka tae ia te mamai, koe atu hei karawhiu nā epa. Nō reira, mai rea mai titi atu, hei oma, mahana. Tino.
There we go, that one goes straight down that tram line you were talking about, Scotty. It was right at the top of the zone as well. And that is Ainsley Kairua heads back to the dugout as the first out here in the bottom of the second innings. And a strikeout for Bella Coxon to bring to bat number 6, Maya Lemon.
He hau kai puta tēnā hoa mā.
But yeah, just to pick up on what you were saying, Wiramu, you're right. There's an expectation that she's doing the pitching, Skylar Breeze-Joyce. So at the end of the day, to put her on the base pass in that situation and potentially increase her workload, but increase the chance of injury, it doesn't really make sense. It's probably a good decision from the staff. Get her out of there, get somebody else in there, and she don't affect the ability to pitch.
Too important in a grand final. Look after your ace. Secondary schools, you do tend to get a mixture of player levels in most of the teams. I highlighted to Scotty that the age brackets in Whitby Collegiate starts in their team squad starts at 12 and goes up from there.
And the 12-year-old starting?
No, she's on the bench. That is Aria Moore. Shout out to that family there, her
Cool.
nanny, koro, and parents, whose family is close to me.
Yep. They'll be watching in most
They're
likely.
all sitting out on the stand out there watching in anticipation that their moko might get out on the dome.
O mehe me kare e taia tēnā kōrero ki runga i te whira. He mea ake kia noho kei muri i te taipa, e mātaki ana, e mōhio, e māta, e ako ana nā āhuatana o te kēmui nei. Hei tērā tai, ka taia tōna wā, ka purai ki roto nei.
Well, Maya Lemon, number 6 it is, who's going to work. We still have the runner sitting out at 1. There's that line once again, and she seems to be starting to live on that tram line, and it's working wonders for her at the moment with her second strikeout.
Ai, tika ana koe Gary, ko mōhio rawa ko te kai wawa me te kai hopu, koe nā te rārangi, koe nā te haukai, puta.
Well, it's interesting because we're seeing a contrast in styles between the two coaches. Kitty Shaw possibly would have had that runner in motion a lot earlier than perhaps Tunisia is looking at the moment. But number 2, Chelsea Tapuni, up to bat, as we just had a quick visit into the box by Chief Umpire for the tournament, Rebecca Taylor, who I had the pleasure of having a chat with in broadcast yesterday.
Oh, me.
Good to get her insights into the secondary school tournament and beyond. And her playing days in England and Dubai. There you go, a true international softballer.
What a great job Bella Coxon's done here to come back in with all the ball in play, with all the swinging, all the hitting.
Yep.
She's just gone through a little period of finding that outside corner, changing the speeds around, keeping hitters off balance, and doing a great job to fight back and get some outs and try and keep the Rosehill response to a minimum.
Ai, Scott, tino tika tēnā, kia āta haere te haere, ai. Kei te tino, kei te tino koe te kai epa, kia haumaru hua nao, kia pōturi haere a te kiwi nei.
There you go. There's that outside pitch. The Rosehill girls are probably just going to have to make some adjustments out there. Too many of them are looking at that pitch go past. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Chelsea Tapuni.
Yeah, you're right, because that's a dot. That's on the corner. That's a strike all day long. And if you don't make an adjustment to that one, nothing good will come.
This one through the zone. It's hit out through the 5-6 hole. And the runner scampers down to second base. And great job by Chelsea Tapuni to get herself out to first base. There you see the hit. It's hit hard and flat. Exactly what you need out to left field.
Ki te tata ki tērā epa, he epa ki runga. Well, I ki te au he epa, ki runga, and katai tana patu ki tērā. E karawhiu atu ki te whira.
It's actually a very good effort, as we see on replay there from the shortstop. She almost got across to that, made some good ground up, but a great piece of hitting.
Full stretch. And we see it is Bella Coxon going back to work here. This time it's Azalea Pahuri. She comes in as the DP in the lineup.
Good little bit of zip on that pitch, though. I know it's ended up high, but not a bad time for it to be.
She can put an extra K or 2 on it, but what impresses me is her variety.
Yeah.
Either side of the plate, up, down. She's got a nice change up. Good variety.
Well, she comes from super pitching stocks, doesn't she? I mean, for the viewers out there that know her, they will know. But for those who don't, her grandfather was Paul McGann.
Oh, there we go.
Who won a World Series with the States and a World Series with New Zealand.
Oh, neira.
Bit of coaching there, and there's that pitch right on the outside tram line again, and that's her 3rd strikeout. She diffuses the situation for Whitby, and they head into the dugout with 2 innings complete. 4 runs to 1. It is still to Whitby Collegiate. We'll come back in just a minute and find out what happens. No mai haere mai, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this grand final. It's been a very exciting grand final so far. Bella Coxon, it is up to bat, the pitcher for Whitby Collegiate, and she is probably, Scott, I would imagine, on the batting stats as well.
Yeah, pai te rā whakaaro e hoa. She is. She certainly is. I mean, it's hard to track this girl because she literally is across every stat on there because she can literally do everything. But Bella Coxon, in her 6 games, has an OBP of 778. For someone who pitches to then come to the plate and reach base that many times and therefore have to run the bases that many times, etc., 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 that's incredibly impressive.
Tawera definitely has the hot stick out there, as well as the hot hand with the pitching. She's hit this one straight up centre field, and that's a fine running catch out there by the centre fielder. And you just underlined it because she hit that very hard.
Ka Motuihi.
Ka Motuihi, all right. Fine piece of softball from both players. We are definitely getting top quality out of both teams.
That pitch was absolutely barreled, and the centre fielder gets across and makes that grab look easy.
Right, here we go. It is Coxon who's been replaced by Safira Schultz, her partner in crime. They have been an excellent battery in this one, and she's going to get to first base on the hit pitch. And Whitby Collegiate underway with 1 down. A runner at 1, and Georgia Keel.
As we see the replay here, Skylar Joyce just letting that one go a little far inside and off the inside elbow arm of the hitter. Haere ki te papatahi.
No sign of any pain there whatsoever. Well done, Safira Schultz. It looked like it might have caught her very close to the elbow. And we know how painful that can be.
Yeah, that's not a great one to get, off the inside of the arm there. I mean, you're not going to order anyone to, a certain place to be hit, but if you were, that certainly wouldn't be up there on your order list.
Yep, bit of ice coming tonight, I think. This one's hit. It's a slow hopper out to the shortstop. She's running it out hard. She's got there comfortably ahead of the throw. And we see the runner now engaged. And this time it is Whitby who have forced an error with their running, great base running, and they've scored another run to take the lead out to 5-1 over Rosehill. And that's just pressure created by good running.
Tika Gaz, it's again, Kitty Shaw type softball where, we round bases hard, we're looking for extra bases, we put the pressure on the defence and get them to throw balls that they probably shouldn't throw at times and chase runners, and then these sorts of things happen. I like the timeout call here, I'll be honest. Get out there and, the thrower's doing the job, getting, weak contact, but get the group to, as a whole, to kia tau, calm down, stay the plan, get us in for a swing, just get one at a time, get us in for a swing, and we'll have our own chance to respond. Still only, what's that, 5-1 now? 5-1. I mean, there's plenty of softball here. We're at the top of the third. If they can get themselves back together and get in for a hit, anything's possible.
There we go. They certainly haven't got their heads down. Too good a team to do that. Rosehill will need to respond. It's still only 1 out, so Whitby Collegiate with a runner at a 2. And they continue to put on a clinic out there in our sport, Poiuka. Just the execution of their game plan. Right on point so far.
Yeah, Tika Gary. He pai te āhua o te tima Whitby Collegiate. They're very calm. They're very just, sticking to the plan, just getting things done. Smooth looking outfit at the minute.
At the moment, yeah, you can't fault them. Up to Rosehill to come back. This one's hit hard. Well done as Schultz just puts the glove out and intercepts that one. Fires it across the first base for the out.
There's something really sharp about a comebacker that's handled like that. Skylar Breeze just hard hit ball back, grab. You're out.
To be fair, her arm's nearly as long as my whole body. She's a very tall girl. She just intercepted that out of the air. You'll see the replay here. And may not get to see the pitcher actually do it, but she made it look easy. Great reflexes.
Yep, she's out here working hard to keep this ball game close. And the best thing about that play, Gaz, is she keeps the runner at 3.
Nice, that one sailed straight through the zone. Ariatasi unable to catch up to that one.
He tino kaha te whiu or Skylar Breeze. She put plenty of pop, plenty of power behind that one.
Just beaten by the pace of that ball. Here we go. She gets the job done. She strikes out Ariatasi. Great job by the pitcher to end the innings. Not before Whitby Collegiate scored another run. Now lead this ball game by 5-1 over Rosehill, where it is up to Rosehill now to try and respond. We'll find out if they can when we come back in just a minute. No mai haere mai, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the grand final here of the 2025 National Secondary Schools Championship. It's the girls' grand final. Whitby Collegiate playing Rosehill. It's Whitby execution excellence at the moment as they lead the ball game by 5-1 over Rosehill. Kai Epa, Bella Coxon to Kai Hupu, Safira Schultz underway.
He tino koi tira whiu Bella Coxon. Gary, she's got that sharp little low lifter to the outside.
Yeah.
Catching the disc. Strike one.
Hitting that spot consistently. Here it goes again. This time we have a batter that's up to it, and Trinity Waiwera Toka, number 8, the lead-off hitter, but also one of the top batters in the tournament.
Yeah, follows it up with a beautiful change-up, off-speed, sinking into the dirt. Lovely pitching.
This one high in the zone, and it is Toka, hits it straight back to Coxon. Fires it across to first base for the first out.
Right, Tika Gaz, we see here, whiua ki te papatahi. And then out she goes. Lovely little replay of her busting out of the box here and getting down the line as quick as possible, but not before Bella Coxon can slide that ball over to first and get her out.
All right, tick out there. We see another hit out to second base this time, and again, the throw is made. And as good as Bella Coxon has been on the mound, the rest of her infield is now backing her up.
Georgia Keel. Ātahaere, to view, she just cruises on in, takes her time.
Kai Paparua, she's making second base look easy at the moment.
Yeah, just cruises in, picks it up, throws it over.
And that was close in the end. Bang, bang right there. In favour of the fielder.
Yeah, I don't mind that, Gaz. At the end of the day, you know, real close play. if it's a nice play by the fielder, and to be fair, I mean, I don't know if that fits inside nice play per se, but looked a little more routine-y.
Regulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, both outs actually.
But I'm happy
Just
for
good
them to
softball.
go. Happy for them to go with the fielding team on those close plays. If it's
Yeah.
picked up, thrown over there nicely.
Of course, they don't have the benefit of the replays that you, me, and the viewers get to enjoy.
Yeah.
That did show that was clearly out, but you'll find that 99% of the time the Blues will be correct. There we go. More bat on ball for Rosehill. It's straight to the fielder. This time it's the shortstop, Kimarupa, who gets the third out. 1, 2, 3 out. And that is Whitby Collegiate. Excellence again, this time in the infield. As they head back to the dugout, they continue to lead the ball game. 5 runs to 1 over Rosehill. Let's see what happens when we come back. No mea no ki tēnei kimu o Poyuka. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to this game. Rosehill, everything ahead of them at the moment because they are 4 runs the deficit to Whitby Collegiate. They're a fine team and will need to fight back in fine style. Scotty, I would think the beginning of that will be blanking Collegiate in this, Whitby Collegiate in this inning.
I took it to Whakaaro, Gary, first step one. Blanking them, putting up a donut, staying tight, keeping it a close game is step one, because if they have to increase the amount of hitting, it'll be more and more difficult.
Right there, that will help as Skylar Breeze-Joyce strikes out. Dakota Simons sends it back to the dugout for the first out here in the 4th innings. Top of 4 it is. We are up to bat now, number 14, Ali Kay.
Miharo te whiua o Skylar Breeze-Joyce anō. Another awesome pitch thrown down by her. She's really putting some on and then taking some off at times. Probably not as much as Bella Coxon.
Yeah, a little bit more reliance on the power.
Yeah, but she seems to have, taken a couple up, a couple of ticks.
Yeah. You think about the runs they've got. It's 5 runs to 1. Rosehill are down, but Whitby Collegiate have taken advantage in those runs of 2 or 3 errors.
Yeah.
By Rosehill. So what I'm saying, I suppose, is that Skylar Breeze definitely not reflective of the scoreline. How good her pitching's been.
Yeah, you're right, Gary. As we see that ball go foul, she's actually done a good job to mix it up between trying to beat the bat, but also just get weak contact.
Yeah.
And that's paid dividends at times, but also then been the difference as to whether the fielding can sort of back her up at all times and keep runners off the base paths.
There we go. Skylar, who has picked it up in this innings, consecutive strikeouts for 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning.
Hoki atu ki te turu. Back to the seed.
Scarlett Morrison it is who comes into bat. Bottom of the order for Whitby Collegiate. They seem to bat deep though.
Yeah, they do bat deep, Gaz. They've got a lineup that, again, as you look down the sheet, there's just numbers popping off the page all the way down.
Yep.
So you could read out a highlights list for a lot of the players, and to be fair, that's probably reflective of why these two teams are here at the pointy end of the competition.
Absolutely, it is Skylar who rears back, getting ready to go again. This time pitching into Scarlett Morrison. Now, I talked about how young Arima Moore is, but I've just seen a picture of Scarlett out there, and she's not going to be too much older by the look of her.
Yeah, I'm actually not too sure. I had a little bit to do with her during her time in the Junior White Sox program, so Kenny Shaw will know her well. Kenny Shaw was the coach during that period that Skylar Breeze-Joyce was in there.
Young in years, but old in experience.
Yeah, and she's just a beautiful wee soul. She's just such a lovely person. She's so bubbly, an awesome character, loves the game, loves being out there, loves the camaraderie aspect.
Oh, yeah. Definitely one of the highlights of why you play our wonderful sport.
Ai. Hea tāhua te ahu o tēnei, o tērā wahine. Gaz, she's a beautiful āhua.
There we go. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. No runners out on the diamond at the moment. Top of the 4th innings. And nice job by Morrison to earn the walk.
Well, there's the family connection, Morrison.
Yep.
I'm assuming that explains the presence of Raniera.
Raniera out there.
Yep. Who we got coming to the plate here?
Alice Mitz.
Alice Smits. If you look at my page for a second there, Gary, you'll see an underlined name.
Oh, nice.
Do you know whose name it is?
It's Alice.
It's Alice Smits. Well done, Gary. You have won.
Did I just prove I can read, or have you got a point?
Yeah, she was the highlighted player prior to the game. She's come to the plate for the first time with a runner on.
Yep.
And I was just completely shocked at how many runs she'd hit in coming into this one. But here she is to the plate with a runner on base.
And she has, how many runs has she batted in?
12.
Unbelievable. I know you have mentioned it, but it is an unbelievable stat, especially when she comes in, where she does in the order.
He tino wera te patu o tērā wahine.
You think about it, Scott, her job is probably to be there and get on when there's no runners on base.
Yeah,
she's a lead-off hitter.
That's what I don't get. She's a lead-off hitter who's hitting 12 runs. I dare say that could be tournament leading. I'm not going to... Don't hold me to that.
Yeah.
But because I've only got 2 sets of stats in front of me. But that's a hot stick if ever I've seen one right there. That could be a wand.
And this time she's dropped the bunt, picked up by the pitcher out there who takes the out. And that just underlines the aggression of the coaching there to bunt with 2 outs like that. But 3 down, well done by Rosehill to get out of that one without impacting the scoreboard. It'll be up to them to try and peg back that lead when we come back in just a minute.
Te ana koe mo tā tāua haerenga.
Learn Pūrākau. Explore Te Taiao.
Ai mai.
Tūhura ki whakaata Māori me Māori Plus.
No mai anō whānau. Welcome back. We're into the bottom of the fourth innings here now in the National Championship final. Secondary school girls with Big Collegiate enjoying a decent lead over Rosehill College from Papakura by 5 runs to 1. Now, Scott, we are into, we're getting through the middle of this ball game now. Time, outs, and all of that starts to become a factor for Rosehill.
Yeah, he tino tere tēnei kemu. It's a quick game we've got going here, and you're right. It's sort of at that point now where they need to get moving. They've done well to keep it close in that last inning and shut down the scoring.
That'll help, but it's hit straight down out there, and it is Dakota Simons who couldn't hold on to the catch. And there we see the replay. She looked like she got under it nicely, positioned herself, but was never steady. And then at the very end there, it almost looked like she misjudged the line.
Yeah. She did, definitely. I mean, it's a tough one, that ball off the bat that goes up high like that. And she
You're
was
looking
camped
into the
under
glare
it.
of the clouds. There's all sorts of factors out there.
Yeah, that's a bit tougher than maybe you'll see on replay.
Well, right field at Fraser Park, if you remember the old diamond, used to be an absolute nightmare in this game. So obviously it's still not the easiest position at Fraser Park, right field.
Yeah, and to come back to that point, you know who would have played a lot of softball there? Pitched for Cardinals is Bella's grandfather,
Yeah.
Paul. He pitched for Cardinals for many, many years on that diamond. I remember the old...
One of the perennial right fielders, of course, for Cardinals over many years would have been Daryl Marino.
Yep.
She's been given out.
Yeah, hopefully we get a little replay
Do not
of
argue
this.
with the blue young lady.
As we do see here, look, back pick comes in as the second base comes behind. It's a lovely play. She's originally in there, or deemed to be in there, in a close play. She was lovely. But watch her stand up here, Gary. As she goes to stand up and lift off the base, the play from the second baseman to stay on her and then lay the tag on.
Lay the tag on her after she stood up and left the base.
There we
right
go
there.
Like she took her hands and her feet off. There you go.
We'll chalk that one up to experience, ladies and gentlemen, because what she should have done while she was on the ground, Scotty, call time.
Time out, time out, or keep something on the base.
Yep.
Either or either. But in that case,
It's
neither
just
neither.
Experience. Yeah, just experience. One ball, 2 strikes it is. Skylar out there gets struck out. Nice comeback. Now 2 down. Rosehill won't be enjoying the fact that they've just wasted a base runner out there, really. There's that replay. We may hold on to this one long enough to see the out. She looks at, she's safe, and she's off the base.
I think she felt like she had either heard time called or had called time, but looking at the replay there was definitely no call of time.
No. And there was no acknowledgement of it from the Blues either.
Nah, they were not on that page at all.
No.
They weren't on timeout page at all.
No.
So, yeah, you got to give it to them. It's good softball from Whitby Collegiate.
Good heads up by the second base out there, just to stay there. And, you see it happen a lot. Not the out, but the fact that they keep the glove on the player, just to make sure that they're not going to give them an opportunity for an out. Ainsley Kairua, number 9. Up to bat now. 1 ball, 1 strike, left fielder for Rosehill.
I took a Gary, and if you are no ki tera taho te pereti, another pitch to the outside of the dish, to that side, that she's living on out there, that they just haven't adjusted to yet.
All right, Taka, she's just hitting that outside tram line. There's another one that just underlines what you just said. She struck that batter out beautifully. And unfortunately for Rosehill, they weren't able to impact the scoreboard. The score remains 5-1, Whitby Collegiate. We'll find out what happens when we come back in just a minute.
Funding is a real challenge. We know that a lot of schools face that ongoing, and the reality is if you go to a lower decile school in New Zealand, you are less likely to be able to afford to participate in sport.
Obviously, having come through it myself with kids and being one of those kids myself who played sport, I know how much it defined who I was. And now being able to go, I can't fix it all, but we can help and try and give to those people who are going through tough times. It's a real privilege, but you know, for us, we want to see others get involved in this. This is not a selfish thing for Apollo. This is about how can we get, whether it's construction or other businesses, to get involved in this.
There's a lot of things that kids miss out on, and so to have businesses step up and want to be involved and to help is a game changer for schools. It really is.
Hoki mai anō, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this game. It is Rosehill who have what is becoming a tall mountain in front of them, and that tall mountain comes in the form of Whitby Collegiate, who continue to lead this grand final by 5 runs to 1. Skylar Breeze-Joyce underway again. Another strikeout. You can be forgiven for thinking it's a pitcher-dominated duel when you see these two girls going into action, Scott, and belies the fact that Whitby Collegiate, out of that, have managed to score 5 runs.
Ai, tika tō whakaro anō, Gaz. Skylar Breeze-Joyce definitely doing her part of that battle, of that duel. And she's really warmed actually into the game.
Yeah.
You know, she's striding off just a little bit more.
Well, if you watched the game in the last 2 innings and didn't know the score, you'd have thought that both pitchers were extremely dominant from the get-go. Hasn't really been the case.
Yeah, you know, you're right, Gaz. And they're both going through flows of finding a rhythm and dominating for periods, but then, you know, you get the feeling both lineups have the ability to knock them off that little bit of confidence, that little bit of momentum they gather, and then the runs come.
We talked about one swing of the bat could change it, and we saw it with the in-the-diamond home run. This time it's Whitby Collegiate who hits one out to second base. Maya Lehman scoops that one up, takes the out at first, and that was Bella Coxon heading back towards the dugout.
Ai, pai tērā, whiua ki te papatahi, hoki atu ki te tūru anō. We see a lovely little play, just picked up, tossed over to one, sending her back to the dugout.
Saphira Schultz, catcher up to bat now for Whitby Collegiate. We did see in their previous innings, Rosehill made a lot of contact with the bat, 3 batters in a row. Unfortunately for them, all 3 hits went straight to fielders. But that's not always going to be the case, and they were getting nice, clean contact.
Yeah, you're right, Gary. Sometimes, you know, you get into a rhythm of finding holes in the field, and even your little bleeders make it through somehow.
Right, and the little bloops just out behind first base, which everyone hates to see if you're a pitcher.
And then sometimes you can't buy a hit.
Yeah, that's right.
You can't get it through anywhere. You hit one out the barrel straight to someone.
You look up and you see a wall of fielders, and you know you're never getting through it on a particular day. There's a nice picture of Saphira Schultz not showing the batters what her grip is going to be. Keep them guessing. Quite impressed with both batteries out there today, though. Good combinations between pitchers and catchers.
All right. Tata tērā whiu or Skylar Breeze. It was close, but you're right. They've really worked in nicely.
They have.
Together as a little battery in both groups.
This time it's a hit. It's gone over the head of second base. It's the centre fielder that comes in and fields it, fires it into first base, and it is Schultz that gets her team underway with a safe hit single.
Schultz. Patu te pōro. Haere ki te papatahi. Beautiful little stroke out to right centre, making her way down the line to first base.
Georgia Keel will come in to look to advance the runner here. One down with the runner at one. Pops that one. And Georgia really did lay a swing on that one. First pitch, I'm not sure if that's what Kitty would have been looking for, but...
No, I mean, to be fair, like, Kitty's similar to Craig in that sort of instance.
Don't you let her hear you say that.
Well, just in that one instance. I'll let you have a hack. You know, it keeps people back on their toes when they have a hack like that, and then short game.
Yeah,
right on,
absolutely.
right on the back.
One thing she has done in this ball game, and we've seen Whitby Collegiate execute a number of times, is the bunting. Has been a feature of a lot of the rep tournaments that I've seen throughout the year this year. And I would say, as we see a nice pitch low in the zone, the steal's on. The throw's not up to it this time. And a nice job by Sapphira Schultz. Gets herself over to second.
Ai, tino tere Sapphira Schultz. Te tiro ki tera Kiriata. The video there, you see the video replay sliding in. She's pretty
sliding
quick.
In.
Pretty quick.
Even with the hat down over the eyes.
Yeah. Actually wasn't a bad play, you know, by the catcher. She got that over there, you know, pretty close
got out
to the
there
base.
pretty quick. It just needed to be a little bit more accurate. Would have been a very tight situation. This time is a pop fly over the top of the first base dugout, right onto the top of it. No, the point I was going to make is I do believe bunting as a skill has gone up several levels this year. The execution right throughout the year that I've seen has been right on point from most of the teams, particularly in the teams that are making the finals, which you would expect.
Yeah, they've definitely been doing some work with their respective staffs on that side of the game, and that's coming through loud and clear. And it's good to see, like, you know, like you want to see kids coming through who have got some of those fundamentals in place, don't you guys?
Yep, absolutely. You look at it and you think as a coach, and we've both been coaches out there, Scotty, if you've got the confidence to call your player to bunt and know that they're going to have the skill to do it in any given situation, definitely helps when you're executing a game plan. Oh, we see the runner coming home. The throw's not up to it. The bunt, once again, as we just mentioned, was laid down. And the out was made, but not before Whitby lay out another run. They now lead this ball game by 6-1. And once again, we're seeing the execution out there from Whitby Collegiate right on point.
Yeah, pai te whawhai o te tima Rosehill. They're fighting hard here. I mean, actually, they come and pick up that ball, throw it over to first, make a nice play. Great turn at first base to get a throw going to home, and unfortunately just a little off the dish and the run scores. But I am really impressed with the battle that Rosehill are putting in to keep this game close.
Yeah, you've got to show some heart, and they are believing in themselves, and they're doing that, showing a bit of heart. But unfortunately, just those... Talk about the levels of execution out there. Whitby's here, and Rosehill just slightly below them.
Yeah, just in terms of this game, it's probably been the difference. But you get the feeling that if they manage to come back with the bat, it'll be because of the fight they're putting in now. Yeah,
that's right. Put it in the bank. There's a pop fly. It's first base. It gets under it for the third out. But damage done in that innings as Whitby Collegiate extend the lead. 6-1. We are heading towards the bottom of the fifth innings. So it is all ahead of Rosehill. We'll find out what they can do when we come back in just a minute. No mai anō e hoa mā. Welcome back to the ball game here. It is Whitby Collegiate leading the ball game over Rosehill College by 6 runs to 1. And what we are seeing is a little bit of a contrast, but unfortunately for Rosehill, it is all ahead of them as we are now into the bottom of the 5th innings. And the only advantage they really have at the moment, barring the fact that they light up right here with the bat, is that they are going to get the last chance to have a crack at it, being at the bottom of the innings.
Ai, engari, ti tiro ki tira whiua tahi, tuatahi. Right on the outside corner again.
Yeah, she's lived out there and she's done a beautiful job. Whenever she's needed a strike, that is the area of the plate that she's gone to.
I take it, Gaz, and she's having good success with it. And what I loved was the second pitch, just another ball off.
Yeah.
Just to see whether she'd attempt a little.
Oh, it's a nice catch. That ball is just hit straight at first base. And Rosehill, for all the bat they're getting on Bull, just cannot get it past this infield.
Yeah, coming back to that earlier point around the sharpness in the field of this Whitby Collegiate unit, have done a great job, led by their battery. But when there has been some contact, and there's been enough of it from the Rosehill girls, they've just done a great job of making their plays.
Tidying it up, making no errors. And there's that go-to pitch.
Yep, titiro anō. E whiua anō ki te taha o te Pereti. Strike!
Well, the Blues have had to make a couple of on-the-spot decisions out there. We see a pull of strings on that one for a strike, also on the same line.
Miharo tērā whiu o Bella. What a beautiful pitch. On the back of a little low lifter that comes in with a bit of pop.
Yeah.
And then change up that goes down on the same line. I mean, wow.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult for any batter to handle. And we see there's an outside waste pitch this time. Yeah, teenage umpire Brodie Donald's done a good job.
He has. He has. I mean, he sort of... we were watching him adjust early on in the game, weren't we, as to which line would be okay and which one wasn't. He's done a great job to then...
Now that he's settled on it, he's been remarkably consistent.
Yeah, once he's settled, he's there.
And there we go. Bella Coxon in command out there now.
Hoki ki te tūru anō. She strikes out another one, sends him back to the seat.
Streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts for Bella.
Yeah, and we talked about the stock that she comes from with her grandfather, obviously, and Paul McGann. But I played a lot of softball with her uncle. She is the nephew of Kane McGann.
The nephew?
The nephew, the niece. Thanks, Gaz.
My job to point these things out, Scotty. Nice job.
Apologies to the family, who I know well. So I will be facing the music on that one, I'm sure. But yeah, she's the niece of Kane McGann, who pitches a bit, and still playing, I think, up in North Harbour at Northcote.
Oh wow, there you go.
Yeah, shout out to Kane if he's watching in.
I think Johnson's played a bit of ball with Kane as well.
Yeah, he played down here for Marist and Dodgers. And
there we go, over the top this time, and it is Azalea Pahuri. Number 7 for Rosehill. We are now in the bottom of the 5th innings, ladies and gentlemen, so they really are going to have to get a wriggle on and score some runs and try and narrow this gap. That's not going to help as yet another strikeout for Coxon. Ends the innings for Rosehill. Score remains 6 runs to 1. It is Whitby that are now looking very, very good in this grand final. Find out what happens when we come back in just a minute. No mai hoki mai, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this grand final of the 2025 National Secondary School Championship. It's the girls' grand final. Rosehill College from Pukekura taking on Whitby Collegiate from Porirua. Whitby Collegiate is who lead this ball game by 6 runs to 1. It's become a big mountain for Rosehill to climb as we are now into the 6th inning. Top of 6 it is. And up to bat for Whitby Collegiate will be number 19, Aria Tasi.
Ai tika, Gaz, he paitamahi o te tima Whitby Collegiate.
She's hit this one straight up through the middle. It's going to give her time to come across. It's a nice bit of batting by Aria there to get herself safe at 1.
Ai, e tere te oma o tērā wahine, haere ki te papatahi. Lead off on, ominous signs.
Ominous signs, yep. For Whitby Collegiate, I do believe this will be their first title in their brief history as a school.
Oh, Gaz. Gaz.
First softball title.
If you knew that to be the case, you're going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
At the top of the 6th.
Would be. Did I say would be?
Yeah, but you're going to go and jinx them like that. You're going to put the commentators...
Yes, we talked about that in the past.
The top of the 6th.
For Rosehill, I do believe they've had multiple titles in the past. I couldn't tell you how many.
Yeah, you can certainly see that there's a history there for Rosehill in terms of, I mean, they've got some sharp-looking uniforms for a start. So they've obviously invested in this program, which would suggest that it's not new. But, yeah, you're right. They're a sharp outfit that's definitely played a lot of softball and deserves to be here. Like, you can see just through their general play and whether some have worked out for them, whether some haven't. Like they're a finals-looking team, aren't they, this Rosehill outfit? We've
talked about it a lot at tournaments this year, Scott, the development that's gone into softball from South Auckland down through Franklin into Hamilton has been quite remarkable. We're seeing Franklin now competing at a lot of age grade tournaments, and not just competing, they are getting through to grand finals and things like that with regularity. So good to see one of the colleges from within those catchments in that area here at the grand final.
Yeah, good point, Gaz. There's been a little revitalisation around some of these areas, and this is one of them.
Nice work. As we see Skylar Breeze-Joyce take a leaf out of Bella Coxon's page, fires one down that outside tram line, just strike out Ariatasi. Dakota Simons that time.
He tino tata ki te kokona o te pereti. Te rā really close to the outside corner. Beautiful pitch. Strike 3.
I dare say the way she's coached this game, that Kitty Shaw is not going to leave that runner at 1 for too much longer.
Nah, it's all Raniera Morrison over there. Kitty's just taking all the cues off Raniera.
Oh, he's doing the decisions on whether the runner goes or not?
Nah, he's not. I just thought
really?
I just thought I'd downplay Kitty's influence a little.
Oh, gosh, I want to be a fly on the wall when that conversation hits home, mate.
Oh, great replay of a beautiful back pick.
Both teams have executed that very well.
Yeah, that's been awesome to see.
Yeah.
Like, it's a part of the game now where, you know, like at the end of the day, you get a runner on 1, and whether the back pick's successful or not, Gary, we've spoken about this in the past. It keeps runners close to the base.
That's right.
It's the double play ball.
Stops them from taking those huge suicide leads.
Yeah. Now you get a ball up the middle, and it's double play.
Here we see there's yet another bunt. And once again, there's that runner in movement. And again, it is Whitby Collegiate that are making every post a winner. Runners at 1 and 2 now.
Te tiro ki te mahi o Skylar Breeze, Gaz.
Yep.
She picks up the ball beautifully, makes her way there, gets it over.
And unable to be held at first base.
Yeah, just not able to snare that one. And again, just not quite making the play. Rosehill and inviting a little bit of pressure now with runners on 1 and 2.
Here we go. This time it is the third base that comes in and picks it up, fires it across the 1 for the second out. Scarlett Morrison, who was doing the batting.
Is that Chelsea? Chelsea, third base there for Rosehill.
Chelsea Tapuni.
Chelsea Tapuni. Sharp-looking player. Like, she's got plenty of strength in the arm.
Yeah.
She barely, effortlessly throws it.
One of the few players in the team that matches height with the pitcher, Skylar. Athletic with it at the same time. Fired it across to take that out. 2 down now. The runner, however, the runners have advanced to 2 and 3. So once again, it is a dangerous moment in the game for Rosehill. We're back up to Alice Smits, the lead-off hitter, who has done a good job for her team.
All right, if you are Kiraro, Ingari, strike given by the umpire, bottom of the zone.
This is where Skylar needs to shine, right here.
Oh, Skylar Breeze with a view.
That's a rueful smile, that one, wasn't it?
Without having to crack at the umpire.
Yeah.
Just only a way in which she can do as well.
That's right.
Like, I'd love to see a replay of that look on her face when she looks and just not having a crack at you, but
But you've been calling that outside pitch all day. That's what you were going to say.
yeah. But I'm pretty sure that was there.
That whole sentence was summed up in that little ironic look right there.
Yeah, good to see you still enjoying the game, not taking things too seriously. It's a good sign for a pitcher too, just being able
Most
to
of
get
the
out
Rosehill girls all look like they're enjoying themselves out there. No, they're down, and there will be that pressure, obviously. Oh, this time it's going to go past, and it's Whitby that are going to come in, but the out is taken, and the run.
Oh, Karea Mohio.
Talk about that. That wasn't part of the out, so will the run have scored?
Well, Gary, maybe when we come back we'll be able to update them, but I'll check in with
But
Donna.
anyway, we'll check with you in just a minute. We'll come back, find out with more action very shortly. No mai hoki mai, and welcome back to this ball game. We're getting into the final stanzas of this game now as we are heading towards the bottom of the sixth. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the bottom of the sixth. It's gone quite fast. It's 6 runs to 1 to Whitby. We can confirm that previous run that crossed the plate did not count because of the out at first base. So the score remains at 6 runs to 1 to Whitby Collegiate over Rosehill College. Here in the bottom of the 6th innings. Scotty, it's they're going to have to score a bunch of runs in a short period of time. The equation's pretty simple now.
Yeah, you're right, Gaz.
That's a good start. But once again, straight to a fielder who eats that one up, fires it across the diamond. Nice work out there at shortstop by Kim Orupa.
Oh, Miharo Kim. Paitira Few. Awesome throw across the diamond. She has looked sharp today.
Yep, I think between her and the second base, especially the two of them, have definitely made things very difficult for the Rosehill batters out there. Between Georgia Keel at second and Kim Orupa at shortstop. All of the infielders done a very good job. This time straight back to Bella Coxon, who gets her own name in the scorebook. Is that out?
Yeah, as if she needed it written in there again, Gaz.
As the pitcher, yes.
Just as anything. As a pitcher, as a hitter, as a fielder.
Yep. We talk about a toolbox for players. Well, she's got all the tools in the toolbox.
As I said about Skylar, you look out there at the picture, that close-up picture or shot of Bella. Just awesome to see them enjoying themselves on this big stage.
Yeah.
Both these two teams, both these two pitchers, really enjoying themselves whilst going toe-to-toe and putting on a great spectacle for everybody at home and everybody here.
Number 11, Janaya Nathan Kaiho, comes into bat for Rosehill. And you go a long way back in the game to see that pitch not called a strike.
Well, I he tino tata te rā whiu ki te koko nā o te Pereti. Very close to the corner.
Very close. Not
Surely.
close enough for umpire Brodie Donald this time. There we see, there's one hit out to right field. It's going to find the grass. And this time, it is Rosehill, Janaya Nathan Kaiho, who opened the door of the glimmer of hope, because they do need the bodies out on the bases to get moving, to score some runs. And that is one way of doing it.
All right, tika Gaz, te mahi tuatahi, runners on base. Their first job is just to get runners out there, really. There's no one swing that's going to change this game until
there's runners here. They need to score multiples, not just one. An innings is not going to do it now. Manufacturing a run here and there in the bottom of the sixth innings is not going to get the job done.
Yeah, they need a bit of plate discipline and hopefully get some more runners. Plate discipline is very difficult when Bella Coxon has had the ball on a string. For the last, well.
Funnily enough, you mentioned that, because that hit and that swing right there were both in the path of that outside pitch. So there may be a couple of innings too late, but there is a little bit of an adjustment has been made.
Yep, here comes Rosehill. Is it the beginning of the fight back, Gaz?
Well, one would hope so if you're a Rosehill fan. And there'll be plenty of yous out there. All you whānau will be watching this one. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and hoping that the girls can launch a comeback right here. This time it's there's a fine catch out there at second base, and we just finished talking about it, how strong the infielders have been for Whitby. Once again, a magnificent play for them to end the inning for Rosehill, extinguish that brief fight back. The score still 6-1, Whitby leading. We'll find out what happens when we come back in just a minute. No mai anō ki tēnei kemu o Poiuka. Back underway in this grand final. We're in the 7th innings. The final stanza now, and the equations get very simple. If you're a Rosehill player or a Rosehill or the Rosehill team, they're going to need to blank Whitby Collegiate in this inning and score a bunch of runs when it's their turn.
Ai, pai tira whakaro, te mahi tuatahi, Patu ki runga. Out. First out of the inning.
One up, one down so far. They bringing to bat number 3, Safira Schultz. Bella Coxon, it was the first out of the inning. Job done for Rosehill. Second job standing there right now. There's an interesting stat. Bella Coxon has been the first out in 4 innings of this ballgame.
Well, it's not a great stat, Gary.
Well, we'll let her enjoy her pitching stats then, shall we?
Yeah. I mean, I've already got one apology to do to the family.
Yeah.
Why not line up a couple for me, Gaz?
No problem. I just looked at that and I thought, one, right every second inning. There's a nice pitch. Skylar Breeze Joyce continues to go to work.
Ai te rā te whiua o te kēmu nei. That's the pitch of this game, Gaz, on the outside corner.
Yep. Both pitchers have now used that regularly as a go-to. This one's hard. Hit out to second base. Scoops it up. Flicks it to first base for the out. And the second out in the ball game. In the 7th inning. Second job done.
Rawe, we see the replay here. Ball hit to the second baseman. Whiua ki te papatahi. Waho. Ooh.
Low and outside that one.
Kei tira Whiua. Gary, where's that pitch? Low and away.
Low and away. Might have been just very close to the zone.
Yeah, go on, get into him in the last innings, Gaz.
How close? We'll never know. Swings at the next pitch for a foul.
But if we're in the 7th, top of the 7th now, and that might be like the second or third pitch we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's incredible from the young man.
Good stat. He's definitely grown with the game. Oh, pulls the string. What a pitch. That's going to take the count now to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
All right. Tahua tira Whiu.
Georgia Keel out there doing the batting.
A little picture of the St Bernard's boys watching along. I'm assuming on the back of their own game.
Yep. This time the throw is up and the foot is up and she is safe. Georgia Keel gets to first base. Kimorupa, the shortstop, comes in now to do the batting.
All right. E wai ki runga. Jeez, that's a lovely effort. But unfortunately, this the foot off. And, you know, good hard running from the Whitby Collegiate girls. And just in case there's an error.
Sometimes you can see, particularly at age grade, just give it up a little bit when they think they're going to be out. Not in this case, though. She's run it out to the full extent.
Paito Whakaro, Gaz. It's something that everybody can take a little bit from when they play the game, you know, just beating balls out and doing the small
Those
things.
3 words that coaches love to yell at players. Run it out. Sometimes it gets listened to as a coach and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, you're right. The old coach killer.
Yeah.
Not something we've seen today from either team. They've been ready to pounce. Both teams have been ready to pounce.
Yep. Just speaks to how well coached both teams have been. 1 ball, 1 strike, Kimorupa. In the batter's box for Whitby Collegiate. And it is Rosehill will be looking to get her out. They don't want to go further behind on the scoreboard. I've said that every inning. Hopefully until this one. 2 balls, 1 strike. where they can possibly give themselves an opportunity to launch, well, let's face it, what would be a remarkable recovery.
Yeah, you're right. It would be something special from here. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. You know, step one, get back in for a hit, but then,
Yeah.
you know, it'd be special from there. But give themselves a chance and keep battling the way they have throughout this whole game. There's something to be proud of.
Here we go. This time the second base eats that one up, fires it across to first base for the 3rd out. Job done for Rosehill. They have not impacted the scoreboard in this innings, and it is all up to them to try and bridge this gap between them and Whitby Collegiate. We'll find out if they can do just that when we come back in just a minute.
We're going to have Māori getting ownership rights recognised in the taku taimana.
So they created legislation, foreshore and CBD.
How can you allow this to happen in the 21st century?
What it is the same old faces, the Ken Mears, the Harawira families, the haters and wreckers.
It's about time we started looking to a new future.
What he can do in 50,000 turn up.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. How fitting it is here in the bottom of the 7th innings that it is Skylar that gets the opportunity to get her team underway and try and bridge this enormous gap of 5 runs that they need to score against Whitby. The score, of course, 6 runs to 1. Large mountain, but let's see what they can do about it. And Bella Coxon has not let her standards wane throughout the whole ball game.
Yeah, you're right, Gary. Bella Coxon has just gone about her mahi. She has grabbed the ball, thrown it down there, one pitch at a time, making the best pitch she can as we see another lovely pitch on the outside corner off speed.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Skylar. She's going to need to get something. She's going to need to get to 1. Outs are absolutely precious. Of course, don't go anywhere after this ball game, ladies and gentlemen. There is another grand final coming. Coxon rears back, fires it in. It's a little bit too far off the plate. Of course, it is Mount Albert Grammar and the boys already confirmed in the final. The game going on Diamond 2 right now, St. Peter's versus St. Pat's, to decide who plays them in that grand final. But we still have a bit more time to go in this ball game, as it is Coxon who pulls the strings on that one. And that was absolutely a top-of-the-draw change-up to send Skylar back to the dugout. There's the replay for you, ladies and gentlemen. Takes all the pace off that, turns the batter to stone.
Ai, a tāhua te rā whiu o Bella. Āta haere. Pā te koko nā o te Pereti. Right on the corner. Waho.
Picks up the gas straight away. Fires one past number 9, Ainsley Kairua, for the first strike.
Tēnō tata, engari, te whakaro o umpire.
1 ball, 1 strike.
No, off. Or high. Would you have that one?
Oh, sorry, mate.
I'm going to say high,
I was
Gaz.
updating my score sheet.
Nah, you weren't. You're just looking for an out, Gaz. We all make mistakes, mate.
1 ball, 2 strikes this time, and Bella Coxon gets the batter following that one.
One ball, 2 strikes. This is the an imminent moment coming for this battle here. Oh,
there we go. She's just gone to that go-to pitch once again, and unbelievable just how consistent she's been throughout this ball game. She hasn't given Rosehill batting line out, and let's make no mistakes, this Rosehill batting lineup is a very talented lineup. She's not given them anything to settle on throughout the whole ball game.
No, you're right, Gary. Fantastic job throughout. As we see, te whiua tuatahi anō ki te taho o te Pereti, just to the side of the plate all the time, just living on it. You know, obviously, we're going to say touching the plate for the umpire's sake, because to be fair, I think that pitch is, you know, it comes back nicely.
That's probably nicked that front corner.
Yeah.
Right there.
Probably. My peepers aren't that good. He's got a better view than us.
It's been a while since you'd have dusted off that blue uniform, Scotty.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Gary. I'm a terrible umpire. That's why I'm not going to give them any stick. And I know I might have said this a couple of times, but I'm really impressed with this young fella. I think he's done a great job.
Yep.
Like, I think his temperament, the way that he's umpired the game with a beautiful temperament.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Is this the last ball of the game? Let's find out. Fouled back. Maya Lemon does a good job, stays in the battle.
All right, Carl. Ka haere tonu. We'll keep going.
The count remains the same. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The equation remains the same.
Yeah.
Could this be the last pitch of the game? Coxon rears back to go again. And again, Maya Lemon stays in the battle.
Ko wai tēnei, Maya Lemon.
Number 6?
Yeah.
Maya Lemon.
Maya Lemon. What a great battle she's putting on here at the plate. There's a couple of tough pitches. And sometimes, Gary, you know your best at-bats, you're just staying in there with little foul balls.
That's right. Keeps you in the battle, gives you an opportunity. Oh, this time a great attempt at pulling the strings and throwing the change up. Lemon up to the battle this time. Keeps the bat on the shoulder. When you're on edge like she will be, thinking she might be the last batter out there, would have been easy to swing at that pitch. Here she goes. She's hit one out. The shortstop's fielded it. Fired it across the diamond. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the ball game. And Whitby Collegiate have won the game over Rosehill College by 6 runs to 1. Congratulations to them, Scotty. Just the quality throughout for Whitby was a huge difference.
Ai, miharo te mahi o tērā tīma, Gary, on the back of an unbelievable performance from the girl in the middle there.
Yeah.
And Bella Coxon. She just did such a great, consistent job throughout to keep those batters at bay, and congratulations to them.
Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen an absolute clinic put on out there by Whitby Collegiate. A very gallant Rosehill College go down to them. Whitby Collegiate are national champions for 2025. But don't you go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because we have a grand final coming up again. This time it'll be the boys' turn, and St. Pat's Silverstream looks like they'll be taking on the waiting Mount Albert Grammar. What a game that should be. Scotty, we have seen, I reckon, a contrasting game out there between Rosehill and Whitby. Rosehill not quite at Whitby's level, which probably reflected the score in the end.
He pai te mahi o te tīma Rosehill hoki. They did a great job as well. I mean, I can definitely see as we see, Gary, why they're here, why they're at the pointy end of the competition. There was a play here or there that Whitby Collegiate made that was probably the difference and showed us the difference on the day. But well done to both teams, because they put on a spectacle there right through to the end. As we see a beautiful picture of Whitby Collegiate thanking their supporters and their fans, lapping up a bit of the spoils. Well done, ladies. But yeah, I'm just impressed with that as a bit of a battle, Gary.
Oh yeah, I mean, we saw Rosehill kept trying to put their best foot forward. In the end, they could only earn one run out of the, we call it meagre pitching that Whitby were able to get. But ladies and gentlemen, as I said to you before, there's another grand final coming up as we see Whitby enjoying themselves, enjoy the pictures. But that'll be it. We'll sign off for that. I'll leave the last word to Scotty, and for Gary Rohihi and the rest of the Beyond the Dugout broadcasting team, I'd like to thank you very much. Scotty, you can take us out.
Thank you so much for joining us, whānau. Ngā mihi mō tērā. Congratulations, Whitby Collegiate. Hei a koe nei.